I have a lot of different points. The first one I'm going to talk about is the following one. Don't believe your own hype. Here's what I mean by it. A lot of people made a lot of money in 2021 going into 2022. So these folks in real estate were making 50, 100, 200, 300 grand a month. The crypto people were making money. There was a bunch of crypto millionaires, NFT millionaires, all of this stuff. And they started believing that maybe I am better than I really am. Maybe I'm really smarter than everybody else. And then the bad economy shows up. The way you and
I think that's a problem with people in general. It has nothing to do with the economy. It's literally like day to day. It's good luck, bad luck. There's valleys and peaks. If you think only in terms of money, you're thinking 2D, like flat. There's so much more to it than that. It's like just your mood, it's your health, it's your family, it's everything.
I can judge ourselves if we should even believe the hype is when you win.
You know, I got told this recently by a colleague. It's like, oh, never start thinking you're funny. Never start thinking you're successful. I'm like, well, dude, how do you think I got to this point? You think I got to this point by just being a fucking, like, beating myself up all day and being depressed and miserable? Fuck no, dude. It does require a bit of, like, stretching, suspending your disbelief.
During a great market.
I think people like that was like, oh, don't start thinking you're the shit. I think those are the most jealous people in the world. I think they're hurting, and I think they are like not, you know, I could be wrong, but it seems to me like that's pretty bad advice. If you are the shit and you can back it up and you're taking actions, do everything that's necessary. You have to do the work. I still think it's better to think positively of yourself. Actions necessary to achieve your version of success, they don't change, like, no matter how much you put them off. So keep that in mind.
Don't buy into polls. Polls tell you a bunch of different things. Let me tell you, there's going to be a big red wave. Republicans are going to do this. There's going to be a blue wave. This person's going to win. That person's going to win. We have put way too much trust.
Binary brain on full display here, bro.
In polls, it's time to only give this much credibility to polls and see what happens, because events, people, things we say, things politicians say, it's so volatile right now that anything can change at any time, no matter how much credibility.
How is this guy a salesman? He's saying the most dumbed down shit like a first grader. This dude is retarded.
A poll has had for 10, 20, 30, 40.
Like, just because you put a salesman's spin on something doesn't make it any less retarded.
50 years. All right, third one. A lot of people became experts at Zooms. Oh my God, I love to do Zoom. So hey, would you like to talk to a little bit more about our business and what we're doing? Yes, let's do it on Zoom. Let's do it on Zoom. Let's do it on Zoom. So people got lazier and lazier and lazier and lazier and lazier, and then they realized Zoom worked during COVID. And Zoom is a good tool to use all the time, but Zoom doesn't build culture. You saw Zoom stock drop. The same way.
Bro, if you're out here hustling, you don't even know, like, what the fuck does lazy even mean? I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe you have a drug problem. Maybe you have a problem in relationships. You have infidelity or whatever. You have a lot of fucking problems. But the last thing you should be saying is that, oh, I'm just fucking lazy. Bro, that's exactly what they want you to think. That's the biggest psyop of all. Are you taking the actions necessary? Are you achieving what you have to do in order to, like, look at yourself in the mirror and see a human being? If so, then keep on going. If not, then fucking change something.
I told a story the other day to one of our guys that's 28 years old who was sitting there saying, I'm going to be doing Zoom for the rest of my life. And he was single. I said, listen, let me explain to you Zoom versus face-to-face. I said, do you go on dates with girls? He says, yes.
No one fucking said that. I'm going to be doing Zoom for the rest of my life. Why is he working for you then if he's saying that? Maybe it's because you're making him do a shit ton of Zoom projects. Like, oh shit, Zoom, dude, this guy was probably the first one to be like, oh fuck, guys, it's COVID, we gotta switch to Zoom because it's cheaper. Give me, like, you're a fucking billionaire, supposed, whatever, businessman, right? You're a hotshot. You're telling me you didn't see the value in Zoom, and now you're just gonna take a shit all over it? Fuck you. You're fucking full of shit. Dude, he's just trying to, like, follow the latest valuetainment. Dude, it's all trend-based. It's like, oh, Zoom was working then. Zoom is the fucking best. Zoom is a fucking great investment, yo. And now all of a sudden that the tables have turned, the turns have tabled, now it's fucking, oh, fuck Zoom. Suck a dick.
Yes. I said, I want you to think about if you go on a date with a girl on Zoom. No matter how good of a job you do spitting game, no matter how good of a job you say saying anything to them, you know Ain't nothing happening tonight.
Who fucking dates on Zoom? I mean, I'm sure someone, but I don't think, is that like a thing? Do people actually Zoom date? Like, what's even the point of that?
To bully employers in 2022, and it backfired Q3 of 2022. Why? In 2021, everybody was recruiting, hey, $60,000 salary. Hey, this other person's willing to pay me 80. If you don't pay me, I'm leaving to them with a $10,000 bonus. Oh my God, let's pay him the bonus. Boom. The next.
Bro, you wouldn't say that in a job interview. Are you shitting me? If you got a better offer, then just go get that better offer. You don't need to flex on people in the same fucking industry. That's just bad PR, bro.
The next. They did that once, twice, 3 times until people realized. During COVID, you had 2, 3 jobs. You kept doing all this other stuff. Now everyone knows a lot of things about you. So now a lot of people are going to have resumes with gaps where they're going to say, well, during this 9-month period, I was helping my mother because she was sick. I was helping my father because he wasn't doing too well.
Yeah, well, what if you were? He's literally catering to retards. That's who Patrick Bet-David depends on.
No, you abuse an employer and you know they're not going to say good things about you. So on your resume, there's going to be a gap. Now, if you didn't do this, you're like, Pat, what are you talking about? I didn't do that. There are a lot of people that did do that, and employers are starting to realize that that was gamesmanship.
Dude, people were laid off during COVID. Do you not understand? There were like record fucking layoffs. It's not that people were fucking lazy and wanted more money. No, that wasn't what was happening. People lost their fucking jobs because corporations decided to downsize.
And just so you know, that doesn't help a lot with credibility for those who do that. Now, those employees who during COVID stayed true to the company and they brought value and they...
He acts like there's like a choice amongst the employees. Like, no. People get singled out. Very few people actually made it through the ringer of COVID. A lot of them had to readjust their entire lives and re-socialize their entire shit. And for that reason, many of them had to go on welfare.
Grew the company. They have the most leverage today because they showed loyalty. And the company knows, hey man, we value you. That's the leverage the employees got who became entrepreneurs and leaders for the company during COVID.
You just confused employee with entrepreneur. They're not the same thing. Dude, this guy's name, Patrick Bet-David, guarantee you that is not his real name. He's from a rich family from Iran. His name is not Patrick. You can't even find his real name. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia, dude, because he really does not want you to know his real fucking name, because he's probably a son of a fucking oil baron in Iran or whatever. Maybe even another country nearby.
Keeping on with a bunch of different employers. Credit to those that stuck on with the right companies that had the right opportunity for them. 5, bad policies and ideas have consequences. What do I mean by this? Politically, they have consequences. Let's print money, send money to everybody. People got rich. Next thing you know, oh my gosh, this money is gone. What do we do now? Hey, Disney, we're going to go do this with cartoons and movies. Great idea. No, it's not. The audience didn't like it. Hey, Netflix, here's what we're going to do. No, the audience didn't like it. That's a bad idea. Hey, all of these people that had bad policies or bad ideas, the market said to them, we don't like your ideas and policies. Bam, they took a big hit.
They're also doing that to get government bailouts. Like, they want to fucking eventually buy back their own stock. That's what it's about. They want to, like, buy back their own stock at the lowest possible price. Hence, they're going to tank certain aspects of their business, like their employees, most likely. And that's a fact, that they lay off. They do fucking huge layoffs so that the fucking stock price drops and everybody fucking panics, and all these corporations end up doing is buying back their own stock so they can pump it up and overinflate it later, the next quarter. That's what this shit is. It's all a scam. If you think this fucking economy is naturally occurring, you're just fucking uneducated.
Never give $2 billion to somebody without an exchange for any board seats. And what I'm talking about is SBF. This guy, Sam Bankman-Fried, is the next, Warren Buffett of the new era, which is a bunch of different guys we're talking about.
Dude, people like to hate on Sam Bankman-Fried, but dude, if he's out here robbing rich people, that's a public service, dog. Salute.
Took $2 billion. He manipulated the marketplace, made a bunch of money, stole a bunch of money. Pure criminal on what he did, and a lot of it's not coming out.
Oh, he's the criminal. Yeah, he's the fucking criminal, and you're not. What's your fucking big investment scheme, Patrick? Oh yeah, your name's Patrick. Okay. Yeah, dude, this guy's the fucking criminal. Oh, Bitcoin's totally legit though. Stop acting like they don't all do this. All companies siphon money from their shareholders and try to make it back later in some fucked up way. But they all do this. I mean, look at the CEO. CEOs make 7,000 times the amount of their employees. It's not because they work harder. It's because they were chosen to be in that position. You don't have to advocate for a Bolshevik revolution in order to say this indisputable fact. Some people are just lucky, and that's fine. But don't act like you work harder than your workers, taking below a livable wage. And you're trying to keep it that way as you jack up the prices of goods and services and housing and everything else. So how do you expect this to work exactly?
A lot of people from both sides are noticing what he did, and in exchange, all these big companies like BlackRock, Insight, raised $2 billion, never asked for a board seat. Those ideas of playing that reckless and aggressive with investors' money showed in 2022.
No, dude, that's a fucking hustler. That's what that dude, Sam Bankman-Fried, is a hustler.
Pick your winners too early. They got to prove themselves. But again, this is going to happen again and again and again.
One of the things that managers do, by the way, this one's actually very correct but this is called manipulation in the layman's terms. But what corporations will do in the lower levels in management, they will create artificial competition. I've had this done to me in almost every job, where the first week or so be all like, slap ass, like, oh yeah, you want a little hand job? Oh, here's a cookie. Like, oh, you're doing such a great job. And then they shift you, and then once you start working harder, or not, or whatever, they shift you to a different position. As soon as they find another person to take your place, they just do the same thing to them. They treat you like shit. They make you want to quit. And why the fuck should I continue in that job if I'm not being respected as just a regular human being? It's not like I'm slacking off. It's not like I'm not doing my job. What the fuck is a manager doing? Their whole thing is to just boss other people around, tell them to work harder, when in fact all they do is fucking literally I'm talking about Amazon specifically. All they do is play on their fucking laptop all day. That's all they fucking do, and they do it in front of you so that, oh, maybe you'll get jealous. But if you're a hardworking, badass motherfucker, you don't even give a shit. You're just like, all right, just let me do my fucking job.
Elon Musk comes and buys Twitter. Twitter files comes out. All of these people got exposed because bullying doesn't work. Fauci, here's what you got to do. You got to take that. You got to take this. You got to do this, or else. You
got to take that. What's that? What's that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Patrick? You got to take this. Yeah. Oh, Fauci was a real mean guy.
Now those files.
What did he make people do? What did he make people do? Seriously, what did he make people do?
Not bullying worked for a couple years, but it's not a business model long term. Not in politics, not in business, not in church, not in anything. Eventually, bullies are gonna face the one thing.
Dude, this guy is retarded. Like, holy shit, we're doing bullying in 2022. We're talking about fucking bullying. You know what, man? I think this country needs a little more bullying, if you ask me. You're the same guy who's complaining, oh, everyone's so soft and pasty. Everybody is, Patrick. My name is Patrick. Oh, I'm totally not a Saudi spy. My name is Patrick. Everybody's so soft and PC and haram. These loose women are going around with no hijab. What's going on? And now you're turning around and saying, oh, the bullies, man. What the hell? Stop bullying.
2022, just because somebody calls somebody a journalist doesn't mean they're actually doing the job of a journalist. And we realized we're starting to believe citizen journalism more than actual traditional mainstream media journalism, which is kind of weird. Citizen journalism? People are listening to podcasts.
No, it's journalism. It's just journalism. I agree with you on the point, but like, it's pointless calling it citizen journalism because it's actual.
What? Kind of weird thing that's taking place, but that's becoming more and more and more. You're going to start hearing about these journalists working at mainstream medias are frightened of citizen journalism because God forbid if their business model doesn't work and they have to go start their own podcast without the massive engine behind them, they may get exposed realizing how hard it actually is to run a podcast and a show.
Oh my God, running a podcast, doing a podcast in the privacy of your own home with your book behind you and a little in your office with one little laptop and a $300 microphone. Oh my God, this is such a bro, I work so hard shilling for fucking NordVPN. I work so hard. Oh yeah. Logan Paul, yeah.
Without
this dude's just trying to be fucking boomer Logan Paul.
Teleprompter right in front of them. They're just reading what a producer or somebody wrote for them. It's a very interesting thing we learned in 2022. This is another one of those things that I think is going to go and show up again 2023, 24, 25. The world population ain't slowing down. Even though we're not having as many babies as we typically were having before, we just crossed 8 billion people. And even though we have 8 billion people, the world is smaller than it's ever been before because where 40 years ago when something happened in Taiwan or Korea or Russia or the Middle East, it would take a minute until we felt the residual effects of it here, where today, anything that happens in the world, we find out about it within seconds due to social media. So the world's gotten bigger, 8 billion, but it's gotten smaller. The impact
you're actually wrong about even that. The world is not getting smaller. The universe is constantly expanding and it's getting bigger and bigger every single fucking minute.
It's immediately felt all over the world. Just because you have more land doesn't mean you're stronger military than another one that's got a smaller land backed up by a bigger government. Who am I talking about? Russia's got all the land in the world. Ukraine is this big, but they're getting support from NATO and US. They are standing against a country like Russia, which, by the way, we still don't know what's going to happen going into 2023. Not a weird conversation.
Because Russia doesn't take any shit. Are you saying that, like, are you pretending like Russia is the Goliath here? Because, like, literally nobody is on Russia's side at this point. They're all on America's side, NATO's side. So it kind of shifts the whole David versus Goliath conversation. I know what you're trying to do, Patrick Bet David. Oh, you're trying to insert your own fucking name into your video. That's cute.
Conversations are happening, but that's a David and Goliath story going on. So people are actually noticing it matters to have a stronger military, and some people that you thought were stronger are not really as strong as we thought they were. It's a very interesting that happened between...
Yeah, like the U.S. military. But, like, yeah, I got nothing against Ukraine, but, like, I just don't fucking send them my money, you fuck. You are like a fucking... Oh, on one hand, you're just like, oh, I don't want to pay taxes because I'm a fucking G. I'm a billionaire G. I'm a boss. But on the other, it's just like, we need a strong military. Bitch, shut up, boomer, you fucking... Bro, you're a two-faced scumbag. You're a fucking $10 whore. That's what Patrick Bet David is. He's a fucking loser who just sits alone in his fucking office. He's